guys, I'm here with another video, and today we are reacting to the Critical Drinker. I know his channel is controversial. I don't really like the Critical Drinker's content per se, but I do think sometimes he has great critiques on Hollywood, as Hollywood's been dying for a really long time, and I don't completely write him off. I believe in free speech, so let's go ahead and check him out. If you guys enjoy the page, tip if you like to, or request another reaction, I don't mind. Even if I don't agree with the content, I will react to it and give it my fair opinion. Let's not get too political here, by the way. I don't want it to be this is mostly a music reaction channel, but you know, we're just stepping out of our comfort zone and trying something new. I'm on Patreon as well. Follow me on all social medias and things like that. Twitch, TikTok, Instagram at Arli. All right, let's get into the video. Tron Ares is complete arse.
Tron Arse. Sorry, Tron Ares. Actually, no, I'm not sorry, because it is arse. Arse! Anyway, it's without doubt one of the dumbest, most pointless, and creatively bankrupt movies I've seen all year. And that's up against some pretty stiff competition, believe that.
The Electric State was a... So the Electric State, okay, him mentioning the Electric State is funny because the book is so good. The problem with the Electric State is that it is designed to give you a lot of feelings from other films of the past. So I do I do agree with Critical Drinker here. Like, The Electric State was a terrible, horrible, ridiculous movie because it didn't really have the heart of the original story of The Electric State. And then it had these cues that get you, like, I'm not gonna lie, for a minute I was a sucker for The Electric State, like within the first, I want to say 45 minutes, because the Alan Silvestri soundtrack was just decent. Like, and we got to understand that Alan Silvestri, like the beats of that, and then some of the cues that came from like the recent Avengers movies, you could tell the Russo brothers put that into it. So it had that same feeling, but just didn't live up to the same substance, you know, like that the Russo brothers has done in the past. I just felt like it sucked that they took something like that and didn't make it actually a decent film. Like, I could talk about it all day, but The Electric State is like something that felt like an algorithm or data told Netflix that this was going to be good. And in a way, some parts of it they were right about, but it just didn't work. Captain America Brave New World. I don't know how to feel about that movie. I watched it. I thought it was... I don't remember it, really. Yeah. I don't know. Cameron Diaz, I don't know what movie he's talking about there, but let's keep going because I'm interested in what he's saying about Tron. I haven't seen it yet, but yeah.
It's a film that feels like it was made with the sole intention of deconstructing the entire franchise, neatly sidestepping and erasing everything that was set up in the previous film. I mean, I've got plenty of issues with Tron Legacy, but that movie was a goddamn masterpiece compared to this. Introducing a bunch of new characters that are about as interesting as a 3-day spreadsheet convention, played by actors with all the charisma and dramatic range of Bella Ramsey's forehead.
Man, you wrong for this, bro. Like, this is where I don't like the Critical Drinker, because I'm like, bro, you making fun of a 21-year-old. You're like probably 30-something. I just think this was always the weird one, you know, the weird meme. And the whole thing with The Last of Us, I get it. The second season isn't as good as the first, but I just hate that people made memes of Bella Ramsey. And again, I'm not a fan of Bella, or whatever her name is. I don't want to make fun of a child, you know what I mean? Like, I'm good. She could end up being really good in like later on, you know. So I just feel like, I don't know, it just feels weird.
And predicated entirely on one concept. Wouldn't it be cool if people from Tron could come into our worlds? No, it fucking wouldn't. And this movie is proof of that. It's proof that not only can Disney not be trusted as the custodians of other people's IPs that they bought their way into, they can't even be trusted to manage their own fucking IPs at this point.
Take off!
Anyway, let's
All right, so him saying that the concept of Tron, like, so I think that, and here's the thing. I get it. There's some people who go to watch cinema for it to be really, really good cinema, and I'm one of those people too. I love a great written Christopher Nolan film. I love Oppenheimer. I love Inception. I consider these high art, like even Taxi Driver by Martin Scorsese. Like, I get it. So, but then there's some movies like I'm okay with just being dumb, mindless, stupid, fun. I think if you look at Tron Ares as a movie that should be high cinema in regard, I do think you're looking for the wrong thing here, because Tron honestly has always just been a demo showcase for what VFX could do. I feel like at this point it's established itself as that. Now Legacy had its issues, but it did go a little bit further with the story. It actually made the world of Tron a little bit more interesting, because the first film, I didn't even like it. I just felt like the story was stupid for the first Tron, but I respected that it was ahead of its time as far as computer graphics, and during the time it came out, 1982 or 1983. Tron Legacy was just insane. I couldn't even believe that came out of Disney. I didn't even feel like it was a Disney film in some areas. The way it was shot, the way it was made. It's hard to sometimes remember Tron is a Disney IP, because I didn't even know it was a Disney IP when I watched Tron Legacy. To be honest, I just didn't pay attention, I guess, to the opening with the Disney logo. It's like, it didn't feel like a Disney movie. But then you get the Tron Ares. I get where people are coming from, especially coming off of Legacy. If it's not as good as the story, it's kind of a flop. Like, for them not to have Sam and Cora in it, from what I've heard, is kind of crazy, considering how much was built with the ISOs and stuff. So I give people their credit for calling it out, because that is ridiculous. But I will say, even if they did have Sam and Cora in a new story, and the Ares character was, I don't know, some evil program the Dylan just came up with to invade Earth because he was mad. Let's say that was a story, and Sam and Cora had to figure out how to stop it from coming in, or figure out a game plan to say help Earth or something. And then they had the ISOs come in and fight these things off to go back into to the grid or something. That would have been a better story. And like Ares is like the villain. That would have been a great, cool concept, instead of Ares is looking for the permanence code so he can live. So I agree with Critical Drinker in that regard, but I never expected Disney to do. I was just glad they made another one, to be honest. I was like, as long as you got life cycles and that cool action and CGI and the music, we'll give it a pass.
Start this review out like the watery post-Vindaloo anal excretion that it is. Tron Arse is set sometime after the events of Tron Legacy and centers around the rivalry between two major tech firms. Dillinger Systems, overseen by the grandson of the bad guy from the first movie, because I guess major publicly traded tech corporations operate like royal dynasties in this world, and the position of CEO gets passed from father to son.
Right.
And on the other side is Encom, led by strong, diverse female character. Guess which one turns out to be the good guys? I mean, I'm pretty sure that strong, diverse female character has a name, but honestly, who gives a fuck at this point? She's just another in the depressingly long list of empty, generic, personality-free, strong female characters churned out by modern-day Disney. And I kid you not, the actress playing her makes Gal Gadot look like Katharine Hepburn by comparison. She drifts through the movie with the kind of blank-faced stare of an NPC that hasn't had its dialogue triggered yet. She runs with all the speed and finesse of an 80-year-old landmine victim, and by the end of the film, I felt like I knew absolutely nothing about her. And to be honest, I was perfectly fine with that. Oh yeah, and in case you were wondering what became of Sam Flynn, who was the CEO at the end of the previous movie, well, he apparently retired because reasons. Well, I'm convinced. Anyway, both...
Okay. All right, so that was a spoiler. I haven't seen it, but I kind of figured as much since they said they weren't really gonna be in it. Um, I gotta give it to Critical Drinker. I mean, to have him become the CEO at the end and not continue that story and just have this, have it to where this random woman that we don't know, like at least have it to where if you're gonna do that and not have Sam in it, at least have it to where, you know, I don't know, like Sam stepped down and he had a child, or like he has a sister, or like why did y'all move on so far? Like this isn't even 50 years of you. We're talking like a 15-year gap between Legacy and like I thought that was crazy. That's kind of crazy when you think about it. Like who the fuck approved this in a boardroom? Who in the hell thought this was a good idea? I will say that. Like I get it. Like for trying to be a movie it's cool. I don't care. Like I don't really the story. Okay, but like they kind of missed a big opportunity. I will agree because these characters we don't know anything about Ares before. We got a whole new cast, but the problem is this isn't a franchise that can hold up on something like that. You can't just rest your laurels on being part of the cultural conversation today of AI. That's not enough, you know? It's not enough. I feel like they should have kept that concept. What happens if AI enters into our world? What would that look like? But they should have kept the Sam and Cora story. And if they were going to have a character like Ares or even Greta Lee, like maybe she is like Sam's right hand person and she becomes CEO in the end because Sam like sacrifices himself or something. That would have been decent. That would have been cool. I don't know. But this doesn't make sense at all.
Corporations are using magical bullshit laser technology to magic things into existence. In the case of strong, diverse female character, she wants to create beneficial things like crops and medical supplies to combat world hunger, while evil white guy wants to create soldiers and weapons to blow stuff up. Because men bad and violent and women good and altruistic.
You sure about that? You sure about that?
Fuck off, Tron Arse. The problem faced by both of them is that anything they bring into existence with the magical bullshit lasers can only maintain its structural integrity for 29.
I mean, to be fair, the Dillingers were always evil pricks since the beginning of the Tron series. So, honestly, I mean, them making the Dillingers front and center again, I get it. They're trying to bring back some of that. But it's like, why bring back the Dillingers and not bring back the Flynns? Like, it just feels so strange. So you're trying to tell me that now, like, the Dillingers are this permanence within income, this evil. But there's nothing to balance that. I guess you could say Greta's new family is that, or the new, you know, Greta Lee, who plays the new CEO. That her family's like the new Flynns, but like, it just feels like, and that's the thing. That's why I had to turn my brain off. Like I'm gonna go see this movie still because I want to see it in IMAX and the visuals, and I love the soundtrack, but I just feel like Disney gave it it was just like, who the fuck? Like, maybe that's why it was in development hell for so long, because they didn't know what to do when the story, I mean, it was simple. You just had to follow up Legacy. It wouldn't have been, it shouldn't have been this hard. It shouldn't have been this hard.
Minutes. Why 29 minutes? Don't fucking know. It's just an arbitrary time limit that the film imposes. And the only way to overcome this limitation is through the magical bullshit permanence code that Kevin Flynn hid deep within his own computer network like it's fucking pirate treasure or something. Because I'm sure in 2025 we really struggle to replicate the mind-boggling complexity of early 1980s computer codes. What are your retarded! When strong, diverse female character manages to get her hands on the code, evil white guy uses the magical bullshit laser to bring Ares and another computer program called Athena into the real world to recover it from her by sucking her into the computer world and then forcefully extracting it from her brain. Because that's a thing you can totally do, I guess.
Bullshit!
Unfortunately, Ares starts to have second thoughts, disobeys his programming, and goes on the run with strong, diverse female character. So then Athena chases after them and uses the magical bullshit lasers to make one of those giant flying tank things, even though it was many times larger than the building it was created in, so I've got no idea how that was supposed to work, but who even cares? Let's just go with it. Then it all culminates in a big battle between Ares and Athena, where he kicks her arse, gets the permanence code injected into him so he can become a real person, and goes off to start a new life in Mexico or something as Computer Jesus.
Fuck.
Lord have mercy on my soul, for I have experienced Tron Arse. I mean, what can I even say about this movie except that it was a particularly unwise way to spend $180 million? It's a film whose entire plot revolves around a concept that nobody particularly wanted to see in the first place, bringing the world of Tron into our reality. You know, there was a kind of magical dreamlike quality to the original Tron, a feeling of setting foot in a truly alien world, vastly different from our own, and embarking on an epic adventure with outlandish characters and visually striking locations. Yeah, the animation was rudimentary by today's standards, but I think that actually worked in its favour. It was literally a visual representation of computer programs interacting with each other. It was supposed to look stark and simplistic and weird. The light cycles and the recognizers looked awesome in context because you understood what they represented in a computer world, but porting them over into the real world just makes them seem goofy and pointless. There was potential to explore the moral implications of creating AI life forms and how they would even begin to experience our reality when they've never even felt physical sensations before, but none of it really goes anywhere. The script's not even remotely interested in picking up any of the philosophical threads it leaves dangling, not when we can have another bitchin' bike chase or watch a recognizer rampaging through a city like it's Godzilla or something, or have Jared Leto acting like he's a modern day messiah. Actually, I'm not entirely convinced he was acting in this movie at all, or if someone just told him, "Your time has come, Jared's." I mean, how does a physically manifested computer program even function in the real world? Does he have to eat? Sleep? Crap? Is he gonna age? Will he feel pain? Can he be damaged? I don't fucking know because the movie doesn't seem to know either. Or care. The dialogue is so on the nose that it actually feels like audio descriptions of what's going on, carefully spelling out every single plot point and event, in case for some reason you weren't paying attention. Actually, in retrospect, that was probably a good idea because my attention was definitely wavering towards the ends. The cast is a sad collection of has-beens and never-will-bees. Greta Lee is probably best known for her voiceover work, and that being the case, she should probably stick to it, because she doesn't seem capable of making actual facial expressions that I can recognize.
Dang, Critical Drinker, dude. This guy's brutal, man.
Evan Peters plays evil white guy who's so functionally similar to the retarded genius from Alien Earth that they're practically the same character. Jodie Turner-Smith demonstrates the same level of acting skill she displayed in The Acolyte, and well, make of that what you will.
Yes, yes.
On the other hand, Gillian Anderson
I don't even know who.
is completely.
I honestly don't know who that actor was. That actress who with the shadow eye makeup.
Wasted in a role that demands absolutely nothing from her, and a script that doesn't even seem to know why she's there. She would have made a fucking awesome antagonist, but then who am I kidding? The idea of Disney putting a woman into a villainous role is more absurd than James Gunn being honest about the DCU's chances of success. Jeff Bridges shows up for about 5 minutes to collect what must have been a pretty decent paycheck because he couldn't have put in less effort if he fucking faxed in his performance.
Well, you know, that's just like, your opinion, man.
Ultimately, Tron Arse is a movie that left me with one burning question when it was all over. What exactly was the point in this film? And to be honest, I still can't answer it. It's a film made for no other reason than to exploit another old IP. A lazy, unfocused, unimaginative rehash of something that's already been done way better. Adding nothing to the franchise or the discourse around it, and delivering nothing to the audience except 2 hours of fucking soul-crushing boredom. Do yourself a big old favor, save your money, and go do something more productive, like laxatives.
What the Look, man, I can't play with the critical drinker, bro. I can't stand this dude sometimes. But like, I mean, look, all shit aside, even though I don't agree with critical drinker all the time, he might be on to something with Tron Ares. I'm gonna go see it again. I'm gonna go watch it just because I'm there for the visuals and the music. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you guys. Look, guys, I DJ, so the soundtrack is incredible to me. That's all I care about. If it's good music, and I'm gonna speak for some Tron fans. I think some Tron fans, that's all they fucking care about too. I'm gonna keep it real, but holy shit, man, they missed a huge opportunity to continue the story of Sam and Cora, and they should have just brought Daft Punk back. 9 Inch Nails, decent. It's decent, but it probably would have been better if they followed up with Daft Punk returning. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this look in this reaction. Thanks so much. Peace.